Shay from That Student Life Australia here, and I'm just going to make a quick video. 2015 at the moment, and I am back into schoolwork. So, yeah, I'm just about to do some physics work, and I realised that I'd never made a video on quite simply answering a syllabus dot point, and with a very quick and detailed example. So, these are the notes that I'm currently making for motors and generators, and I am going to show you how I address a single syllabus dot point, because essentially if you address a dot point well and just repeat it for every single one in the entire course for each subject, you should know everything that can possibly be tested, and therefore hopefully you should be able to do really well. Alright everyone, quick tip: if you haven't already got the syllabus for each of your subjects, I definitely suggest you do so. Here's the physics syllabus, and as you'll see when I get there, yeah, this has all the dot points for the current focus area that I'm doing. We're going to be answering that one. Okay guys, so things you will need to answer HSC dot point correctly: paper, pens, highlighter, red pen, and most importantly texts or textbooks or places to get notes from. So currently for physics I'm using my Jacaranda, as well as the notes my teacher has given us, as well as this thing called Student's Guide to HSC Physics, which is free online if you just type that into Google, which is where I found it. And I have the syllabus open, and I'm also going to use a thing called CSU Physics, which is Charles Sturt University in Bathurst. Now, the reason I'm using so many different sources is because some of them will have things that the others won't. And it's pretty devastating when you use one source and you figure out that you missed something vital to the particular dot point. And yeah, it can kind of bite on the ass in the test. So cover all your bases, use multiple sources. Okay, now that you've got all your sources and your pens and paper, what you're going to want to do is kind of scan read, or yeah, just have a read through all of the sources and what they say about the particular dot point you're going to answer. And from there, we're going to pick and choose the information we want to write down for our final notes, and kind of culminate the best information of every source. Okay, so after you've scanned all of the information from each text, now it's time to literally draw a dot point and follow it with the actual details of the dot point. So identify the required B fields in DC motors can be produced by current carrying coils or permanent magnets. That's the instruction I have to explain, given by the Board of Studies, and yeah, let's do it. Okay guys, so this is what I've come up with. Now, if anyone who doesn't do physics, don't worry about the specifics of what I'm writing, like the actual words, because yeah, you don't need to understand them. But what I do want you to understand is the way I've set it out. So the question, or the dot point, asked me to kind of identify, which is a pretty low verb on the HSC verbs thing. So it's it's not too detailed. So identify that these magnetic fields in this DC motor can be produced by either permanent magnets, so in red here, or current carrying coils or electromagnets. So yeah, quite simply, I've just, and this is like with help from the sources, they had similar things. So I've just said the required B fields in DC motors can be produced by permanent magnets and current carrying coils. So I've literally just simply almost restated exactly what the dot point said, but in this case that's as simple as it needed to be. So after each of those two options, which I need to talk about, I have just a quick little one sentence about permanent magnets, but a few sentences about the other electromagnets. But really that's all the valuable information I got from each of my 3 or 4 sources. And yeah, I didn't go overboard with every single detail, but I definitely think I have everything I need. And from there, I can move forward. So it's best to try and keep it simple, but don't be afraid if, a dot point takes up more than half a page, or sometimes the big ones, especially if they're like evaluate or discuss, they might take up the full page. So, yeah, it can vary from time to time, but essentially, if you just keep repeating dot point after dot point in your notes and do them well, you should be able to be successful. And, as you've seen, this can just get added to my other notes now. So, my dot points, as you can see, I write the dot point, highlight them, and then underline in red anything that's specifically important that I need to remember or whatnot. Because these pieces of paper here, they're my good copies. I'm going to be, reviewing them a month from the test, 2 weeks from the test, a week from the test, the night before the test. So, I won't be writing these again. I'm starting early so that, 3 weeks out from the test, I can be, doing past papers instead of quickly cramming to get all of this, writing and work done. So, yeah, hopefully that helped, and I'll see you later, guys. Thank you. Alright guys, just before we go today, I'd just like to say sorry for the time out a little bit that we've had over these holidays and since the last term. I haven't uploaded very many videos, but Nick and I have one on the way, and that is kind of how to deal with the exam pressure type thing, sort of like an exam technique video where we just go over a few tips as to how we go about just taking a test on test day. So hopefully that will help you guys. Yeah, please help the channel out by giving a like, subscribe, and I'd really love to hear your feedback in the comment section. If you have any video requests at all, please send them through, because I definitely think that if I got a video request, I'd be much more motivated to post a video than if I just had to keep thinking of the topics up on my own. And yeah, I'm starting to run dry on ideas. So if you have any sort of ideas at all, that'd be great.